Well, hey there, everybody. We'd like to invite you to visit South Dakota through the eyes of local Lou. She'll take you on a tour of lots of things to see and do. So enjoy your virtual visit through the eyes of local Lou.
So Blake Ginithan, you worked here at the State Theater, but you're one of my movie friends.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited. We're actually on the second floor of the State Theater
We
right
are,
now.
yeah.
Look, Phillips Avenue. I can see the State Theater sign right there. It's really, really a cool spot.
Mhm.
So I want to know a little bit about your connection with movies.
Wow. Well, it's a lifelong love.
Yeah.
My dad introduced me to movies when I was younger, and we watched movies all the time together. And it just became a thing where every weekend we would rent movies and get pizza, and watch movies, and it just and we go to the movies, and it's just been a thing for me. It's just been like my first love in life. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really special and just how it sticks with you.
Mm.
And I'm so excited to have this whole analog thing coming back. Like
Mhm.
people are really getting excited about going to movies
Mhm.
now, how they're getting excited about a physical
Mhm.
copy of a movie.
Sure.
Like everybody's not like so dependent on streaming.
Mhm.
And so it's really exciting. So you actually get to work at the State Theater,
Mhm.
which it's amazing. You go out of your way to work here. I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
you are a very busy man. You have a full life, lots of kids,
Mhm.
a lot going on, but you come here and you add to the experience of being at the State Theater, which is really special
Mhm.
in and of itself. So tell me a little bit about what it's like to work here.
Well, I don't call it working. For me, this is gonna sound so cheesy, but for me, it's like a service to
Yeah.
community. Some people go and serve at a banquet or do things for the community, and for me, it is trying to be the service person for the community to come see a movie and get that theater going experience that they came for, and to be the try to be the best smile, the best welcoming face that they can be, get anything they want because I know what it's like to love coming to a movie, and I
Mhm.
want them to have that experience. And I heard once that every movie is someone's favorite movie. So in my brain,
Yeah.
when someone walks into the doors of this theater, they're potentially seeing their favorite movie. And I
Mhm.
don't know that unless they explicitly tell me that, but I have to assume that they're excited to see this movie, otherwise they wouldn't be here. And I just do my best to be that person who's like sort of like pour the gasoline on that fire of like their excitement of coming to see a movie here.
Have you seen your favorite movie here?
Yes, I have.
That's cool.
Yes, I
It's
have.
extra special,
Yeah,
isn't it?
what's funny is for the longest time, I didn't have a favorite movie.
Yeah.
I just had a bunch of favorite movies,
Yeah.
and it actually played last year, and I
Ah,
walked out and I was like, "Okay, that's my favorite movie." So,
mhm.
um,
Like
yeah.
bucket list to check it
Yeah,
off.
well, so,
Yeah.
ironically, I do have a list of movies I wanna see here.
Mhm.
It was on that list, so, yeah, I'm
That feels
excited.
good.
Yeah,
I've seen some of my favorite movies
yeah,
here too.
yeah,
It's extra special.
it really is.
I think the one that really hit it out of the park was Harold and Maude, just because
Okay.
I love that movie and like you don't get the opportunity to see that at a theater, let alone
Yeah.
this theater.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's it's been funny to watch, like, our local megaplexes
Yeah.
do a lot of more, repertory screenings of anniversary movies, and I applaud that. I think it's really cool, but it still doesn't have that, je ne sais quoi that the State Theater has. So,
It's true.
yeah.
I've been holding out on I wanna see Sinners,
Okay.
but I wanna see it here.
Yeah,
Like, I
you
feel
better get your ticket fast.
I know,
Yeah.
I feel like this is, a great setting for
Mhm.
that movie.
Yeah.
And I will say, off topic, but I was at a Broadway play, and the woman in front of me was watching Sinners on her phone. And I'm just like, each to their own, but, like, see that in a movie theater.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy the
Yeah.
experience in front of you.
Right.
Like, is that not enough for you?
Right.
Okay, being at the State Theater and, you're talking about, like, the sense of community and
Mhm.
stuff, and I feel like, I read an article recently about people want community, but they're not showing up for
Mhm.
community. Like you have to show up
Mhm.
and like participate to be a part of it.
Mhm.
And you're doing that
Mhm.
by working here. And it really breeds like this whole vibe for downtown. And I'm
Mhm.
so excited. Like it's super rare for a theater that's 100 years old to be open and operating for its original purpose. We have that here. And not only is it in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, it's in downtown Sioux Falls, South Dakota on the main drag. Definitely just a highlight of Phillips Avenue. You walk in, this place is ginormous. it still has that, like, moment, like, when you walk into the double doors into the theater and it opens up and it's
Mhm,
like, "Oh my
mhm,
gosh," like and then there's the, logo on the curtains, and there's music going, the lighting, and every time it's a little bit different.
mhm.
So, how does it feel to, again, like, be a part of that? Like, tell me what that's like.
That was pretty special. It's
Mhm.
pretty special to, come like, I was talking to mutual friends of ours last week, and it's just exciting every time to come see a movie here
Yeah.
because there is so much work put into the presentation of the film movie. You're not just coming to see a movie with trailers, like, they're like what they started doing is they've started to play the score to the movie before the
Yes.
movie. You're in there and you kinda get to you kinda like, as the kids say, you get the vibes going already,
Mhm.
and it's really cool to experience that and, sorta like, you feel the energy of the movie about to begin.
The Substance,
'Kay.
that was one that they did extra
That was,
for.
like, the first big, like,
Yeah.
we're going all out for this movie. There's no trailers for that movie that night, and it was like a 10-minute intro.
Mhm.
I remember Steven messaged me because I was working that first showing. I
Mhm.
was scanning tickets, and he was like he goes, "You need to get in for the trailers.
Yeah.
Just you need to figure out a way to get in."
Mhm.
And so, uh I just remember, like, the line got through, and I was like, "Alright, I'm going in." I
Yep.
sat down, and it started to begin, and I was like, "This is
It's
incredible."
cool.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the movie that much, but, like, the whole, like the idea that we're giving this thing, like it's kinda like the Criterion Collection where it's like,
Yes.
we're giving this its due presentation,
Mhm.
we're making it special for you. This is you're
Mhm.
not just going to a theater to see a movie, like, you get to, like, kinda, like, live in this movie for 2 hours.
I felt like that too. I felt
Yeah,
immersed
yeah,
in that movie for,
yeah,
like, the second that I walked into those
yeah,
double doors. It was
yeah.
just like, "Oh,
Did you go see Marty Supreme when it played
I
here?
didn't."
That was
So,
another cool presentation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which one that, like, stands out for you as one that was, like, such an immersive experience? I'll just say, Motel Hell was good for me.
Okay,
I
because of the beef sticks in
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
so just anything that, like, again, you're blending in.
Yeah.
And
Did I tell you my story with you were there for that. Okay, so,
yeah,
this is a really funny story. I can't remember if he handed the beef sticks out before the movie or
it was
after.
after.
Okay,
Yep,
so
which is perfect.
he was, like, handing out the beef sticks, Steven was,
Mhm.
handed me a beef stick, and he whispers, he goes, "Don't eat this."
Want to.
I can't think off the top of my head of, like, the truly immersive thing, but, like,
Yeah.
The Substance is probably the one that was really like, "Oh my gosh, this is like we're here to see a movie, like a capital
Mhm.
MOVIE."
Yeah.
No.
And I will say you are one of several people that I know that celebrates their birthday,
Yeah,
and by renting out the theater, showing a movie
yeah,
for your friends and
yeah.
family. And I will say one of your movies was a very, very immersive
Mm.
experience. The one, gosh, right?
Was it 2 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
I feel like that is a really fun opportunity too that I don't know if people know about. Like, every birthday that
yeah,
Diane has here,
yeah,
it is such an experience.
yeah. Well, I don't wanna close it off to people. If people wanna come, like,
Yeah.
just get in touch with me, like, I try to make it like I feel like there's, like, this yin and yang with the state theater where, like, we're not in competition with each other,
Right.
but, like, there's this mindset of, like, "Well, they did this, I wanna try something too," where, like, I make it more of an experience, and maybe, like, I give them ideas tangentially where they're like, "Oh, this happened, we should probably try and do this," and
Mm.
there's, like, this friendly like, even our friend Chad,
Yeah.
his party was outrageous,
Yeah.
and, that was such a cool thing. I still talk about I still also message him like, "That party was so cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, I just it's this thing where people we care about the presentation of movies, we care about seeing movies in a theater with people and, like, having that person, like, you see something incredible on screen and you realize that there's another 100 people who are seeing the same thing you are,
Mhm.
and me along with everyone here who works here and programs and does the lighting and the pre-show stuff and all that, we care about how movies are presented to people. It's like
Definitely.
it's you're not just going to see a movie in the theater. You're like I said, you're going to see a capital M movie in the
Mhm.
theater.
Yeah, it's like, um, oh, yeah, I'm just trying to think if I wanna say this, but, like, when Corey would pick out a movie for us to watch,
Mhm.
wasn't just, like, picking out a movie and putting it in the DVD player. It was a whole thing.
Mhm.
It's just like there was a story to it. There was a reason for it. There was something that connected to this and that,
Mm.
and then taking it off the shelf and talking about it and putting it in and really setting it up. And it's just like even if I hated it, it was just
Mm.
really cool
Yeah.
to
I used to host double features at my house,
yeah.
and I would pick movie trailers that were like I one time I did Brian De Palma movies, so I played a bunch of Brian De Palma trailers before, and so like my parties here are kind of born out of that.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
I always think I don't think I've ever told you, but I feel like if you're playing the game 6 Degrees of Sioux Falls, because I feel like everybody in Sioux Falls kind of overlaps. There's only 200,000 people here, but
Yeah.
you are the most valuable person in that game because you actually are connected to the weirdest
Oh,
people.
interesting.
You have such interesting friendship connections that Corey and I used to talk about where it's just like you think this person's completely random and then you click on their profile and it's like also friends with Blake.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, yeah, let's tone the rhetoric down. I don't know everybody in Sioux Falls. I lived here my whole life, and I just I used to play soccer. I used to do all kind like I was in church for a while, and so I know all these people, and I don't know if stay in touch with them as much as people think I do, but
yeah.
I do know a lot of people, and I agree with you. I'll randomly click on a person on Facebook, and I'll be like, they're friends too.
Yeah.
So it is interesting, and maybe that speaks to how like intertwined Sioux Falls people are.
And it also again speaks to like I think again how important theater is. And so I'm gonna talk about like what do you think makes the state theater special? What makes it stand out?
Well, I think we just talked a little bit about it, the
Mhm.
presentation, the care, like, I mean, like, there's a lot of things that I can't speak to them here because it's kind of like how the sauce is made.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we get from Steven on like how to operate.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll give a little thing. Like we are told when to open the doors
Yeah.
when the movie is over.
Yeah.
Just little things like that. And we get updates almost weekly of like, hey, for this movie, we're going to do this. For
Mhm.
this movie, we're going to do this. Hey, we tested this. This isn't working. We're going to do this. And it's a constant checks and balances of making sure when that person walks in to when they buy food, to when they sit
Mhm.
down, to when the movie starts, that it is like a streamlined, perfect screening. And we don't always get it right in terms of like, sometimes we have customers who are on their phone or whatever, and we do have theater checks to handle that, but we try our best to make sure that everyone who walks through gets the best services possible. I think we do a pretty good job of. We get a lot of people who
Yeah.
like. I had one I had one patron a couple months ago who walked in and the movie ended and she was leaving and she's just like, I can't believe how clean this theater is.
It's true.
It's just because like we care about this theater. Like I'll go through, like I'll work in a few minutes and I'm gonna go through and just see if I find popcorn just
Yeah.
sitting around and getting that picked up. People here really care about the experience that people have.
And this place is really clean. Like, and I
Yeah, it
always
really
say,
is.
like, the
Yeah,
bathrooms here are top notch. Like,
the bathrooms are nice.
one of the best
Yeah,
selfies you could have
sure.
is with that
Yeah,
triple mirror.
we have two in the men's room, but
All the
that's
women,
yeah, triple.
you know?
Oh, they went out for you guys, so
Yeah,
it's cool.
but okay, so what's something that you hear because you probably like working here, you probably get to experience people that are walking through the first time or that haven't been here in 35 years.
Yeah.
Like what is something that you hear a lot?
Do you know that meme of the monkey on Instagram where he's like, "Oh my god, oh no"?
Okay, I don't.
Okay,
This is
okay. Anyway, I see a lot of people who walk in. They're like, "Oh my gosh, like
Mhm.
this is like incredible." It still blows my mind if people don't know we're open, but
Yeah,
so we need to change that
I
somehow.
know.
But I get a lot of people come in and they're like, they're just staring. They're just like,
Mhm.
and then like they'll look at the schedule and be like, "You're showing that?
Yes.
You're showing that?" It's
Yes,
like,
come to it.
and it's like, yeah, like yeah, and I'm like. And then like, yeah, we got to come back. And it's like, well, just buy your ticket right now.
Uh-huh.
So I get a lot of that. I get a lot of like, wow, this is just so beautiful. I can't wait to come see a movie. And a lot of that. Yeah.
And I think this is like one of the cheapest date nights you can have downtown. Like honestly, and the best part is, at least for me, when you're done, you're downtown. Like go out to dinner, walk around, go and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
This is moving.
It is going. Yeah. Well, now you got to go with it. So
Cool, 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 cool. Real relaxed
yeah,
here. Like,
excited for this to get edited into the
yeah,
video.
I can't wait. You want to kick up your feet?
Nope. I'm.
I don't know how I did that. I must have. Oh, there it is.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's perfect because you can go see a movie. You can go see a movie that is really trying to say something,
Yeah.
and then you can go for a walk afterwards with somebody and
Yes.
just talk about that movie,
Mhm.
and like, or you can go to a coffee shop, or you can go to a bar, quiet
Yes.
bar. Don't go to a
I
movie,
know.
and you could just have a conversation about what you just watched, and
Yeah.
or you could literally sit in the lobby for a few minutes and like engage with people. And that's a great way of also of like engaging with your community. If you
Definitely.
overhear somebody talking about the movie, go up to them and just be like, "You thought that," or "What did you think of this or
Mhm.
that?" So that's a great way to experience this theater.
I've talked to so many strangers after a movie,
Yeah.
especially, like, once I came to see Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Yeah.
and I had a
I was
dress
there that night.
yeah, I had a dress on that was Creature, and so people came up to me and talked to me about the movie, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I don't know, I just like it." One of those old movies that
That was
just
a special movie for me. Yeah.
yeah, it just sticks to me for whatever reason, and I've always liked it, and
Yeah.
it was cool to see here. There's so many of those older the birds, that was fantastic here. So, okay, so you get to see these people, come and experience a movie here for the first time, and you're part of that experience, which is really cool, like, you're a great steward,
I
the
tried.
State Theater,
Yeah, I tried.
and I have always appreciated, like, your passion for
Mhm.
movies, and I feel like every staff member here that I've met and interacted with has a special place in their heart for
Mm,
the State Theater
mm,
and movies, which again just makes anybody that walks through the door feel included
mhm.
in that. 100 years of the State Theater. Where do you see it going from here?
Hopefully up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
More I would love to see, us get so busy that we have to have, like, regular afternoon shows on weekdays.
Yes, that
Um,
would be cool.
I understand it's not in the cards right now,
Mhm.
but I would just love for the theater to just be able to do something like that, and get, like, more patronage during the weekday and, get more like, I would love to see, like, a afternoon, like, classic from, like, the 40s or 50s, like, get the older crowd in, but
And get like 100 seats sold for it,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think that would be really
yeah.
neat, and so this year, every month, they're focusing on a different decade,
Mhm,
to celebrate 100 years, and they're definitely doing a good job of showing
mhm,
these movies that might not even be on your radar,
mhm.
or they weren't on mine at least, and then other ones where it's like, "Oh, well, I have to see that." I've never seen that on the big screen. I don't know when I'm gonna get another chance, but we have tons of people in Sioux Falls that still have never been to the State Theater. Like, what's your elevator pitch for them? Like, how do I get them here?
Well, if you enjoy going to movies, this is the place to see it
Mhm.
because there's real care, and I'm not trying to, talk down on the other theaters in
No.
towns. They serve a purpose. The idea that you get to relive memories and or create new ones, going to movies with people from your community who are like, if you go see a movie on a Friday night with 100 people, 100 people made all the same choice to go to a movie that night.
Mhm.
And there's just something special to coming here to see that movie with people who want the same experience you do and
Mhm.
to feel the same emotions that you do. I just feel like you can't get that at a megaplex. And you can still have a great time there and see great movies there, but there's just something about watching memories unfold on screen in a place that has a century of them. And to me, that's very special that you just as an art form for movies that has music, has moving images, has dialogue and all this stuff, it's just you can't get any better than that.
Yeah. I feel like you can go to Applebee's and sit at the bar and have a beer, or you can go to Orion Pub and have a beer, and it's 2 different
Mhm,
experiences, but you're sitting at a bar and having a beer at either
mhm.
place, and there's a place and time for both of them. But
Yeah.
I definitely feel like there's so many places downtown that are special because they are that kind of third space,
Mm,
and the State Theater for me definitely is one of those. Did you ever go to the State Theater before it closed in
I
1990?
don't believe so.
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, and I almost feel like because I never did either, and I feel like I'm kind of glad I never saw it beforehand.
Yeah, yeah, I kinda wish I did. And I think not going to it and not having the state theater is why I'm so passionate about the theater,
Mhm.
because I know what it's like to not have it, and
Yeah.
I don't wanna go back to that ever again. I don't
Mhm.
ever want this theater to be in the position where it's like, "Don't know if we're gonna be able to open tomorrow."
Yeah.
I do not wanna have that, and that's
Mhm.
kinda why I care so much is because I
Yeah.
know what it's like to not have it.
What was the first movie you saw once they opened back up?
The very first movie I saw here was the very first movie they showed.
White Christmas?
It's White Christmas.
Oh, fun.
I told my wife like we're going, and my mom came and watched our daughter, and
That's sweet.
we and our entire movie group too. We all
Yeah.
I think Derek bought tickets, and then
That
we
makes
just paid him. And then and that was I saw every movie that weekend. It was and I'd never seen the movie before, so that was
Oh,
and that's kind of for me like the point of this theater is like there's movies that played before I was alive, or even movies that were made when I was alive that I didn't see, and I get to see them in the theater. That's just really special to me.
it totally is.
Yeah.
What did you think when you like walked in?
I was just blown away. I was just blown away.
Are you still like when you clock in and it's a Saturday and you're like here in this cavernous building by yourself and like what does that feel like?
So every shift when I punch in, I walk into the theater before I do anything, and I just sort of like just stand there for like a minute, and I just like this is my cathedral.
Gosh, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. And I don't. We were talking before we started that like I'm privy to a lot of things here, and I don't take it for granted. Like
Yeah.
I really do feel like a part of this place, and I do tell people that like the State Theater has this whole 100 years of history, and like I too am etching my history into this.
You are. Yeah.
And so I hope someday that maybe in like 30 years, like people will be like, oh, remember when Blake worked there and he was just so excited to entertain people and host people and greet people. That's kind of like outside of being a good parent, a good father. That's the legacy that I want to leave on both. So yeah,
Like
yeah,
uh I feel like okay, so you get to have a lot of that man behind the curtain stuff. You know? Like in The Wizard of Oz, like there's the man behind the curtain and then it's just like, oh, that's so different than I thought. Like and so there has to be so many things here that you're a part of movie magic,
hmm
comma, but like you're actually doing a lot of the magic. Like I think so. I think like everything from again, you're like adding to this whole experience. So what else do we want
I
to
think
talk
you
about?
asked me something about like what movies I never thought I'd see here or something. Or
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely talk about like movies that you want to see here, movies that are never gonna. I have one that I don't think I'm ever gonna see here, but I keep trying.
I will say you'd be surprised.
Yeah,
What movie is it?
it's so stupid.
No, it's not.
It is. It's Mrs. Winterbourne. The-
I'm not that reaction was not it's stupid. Hey, listen,
It's stupid.
listen, I said earlier, every movie is someone's favorite movie.
Yeah,
So no, I think that's cool. I remember seeing previews of that when I was a kid.
it's
I've never seen it, but
yeah, it's not a good movie. They're gonna sell one ticket, and it's gonna be to me.
hey,
No, that's not true. Me and Derek.
I tell you what, if you got a job here, you could pick it as your staff pick.
That is true. I don't know. I see. I did scan tickets occasionally for a while, like just volunteer based, but I wasn't real good at it.
I mean, my staff pick only got like 20 people
Really?
over like two screenings. So
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, that's wild.
I don't regret it at all. Like it's
Mm-mm.
like this is incredible.
Yeah, it's a cool experience.
Yeah,
Like I don't know, and just the I don't know the cool factor. There's a lot of cool factors.
there's too many.
Yeah, I think. So tell me like about like late night movies. Like, do you go to those? What's that experience
Yeah,
like?
I try to make all of them
Mm,
because they're a party.
they are
It's a lot of fun, a lot of interesting people that I didn't know lived in Sioux Falls.
right.
It's like, oh, we have this kind of crowd here, which is
Mhm.
cool. That's not a pejorative comment,
No, it's a cool
but
thing. Yeah.
it's really fun. It's a lot of people who want to come out and see a little different slice of cinema, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I kind of quit drinking a little bit, but that was where I pop a
Yeah.
quarters and like I'm gonna unbutton a little bit
Yeah.
here. Those are a lot of fun. If people are watching and they like horror movies or movies on the wild side, I
Yeah.
highly recommend coming out to those because it's and like you said. Our friends at Screaming from the Basement get to host it, and they do trivia and they introduce the movie, and it's a lot of fun.
They make it so much fun. Like, was Basket Case, that one,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
really fun.
yeah.
Tammy and the T-Rex.
Oh my
There's just
gosh,
been a
that night was
couple
so much fun.
there have been a couple that are just like, you're watching it, and you're like, "Oh, what? Frankenhooker?" There's
Yeah.
yeah, there's been some real good ones. And then, Steven, will introduce the movies, and that's always special too,
Yeah.
because sometimes he's picking them for a reason.
Mm.
And so he'll share that reason. And I find that
Mm.
really, again, it's just like a piece that makes you feel a part of it. Like, I just noticed we're in front of a full calendar that tells us the movies.
Yep.
Excited.
You should probably
I should
close your eyes.
my eyes. Okay, let's think. Okay, late night movies. Is there a movie that you don't think is going to be played here that you'd really love? Like, is there one on your list that is too wild?
Too wild. At this point, I don't think that exists.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've just been kind of surprised at like how Steven sort of like doesn't have not limits, but sort of like there's stuff that like I guess I don't think he would not play something because it's too insane. You know, like I hear about the calls they get, like you shouldn't play this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Now, to be fair, I guess that doesn't surprise me. Part of Sioux Falls is that.
Well, that's anywhere though. There's every community in the world has people who are like, you should not be showing that. You know, so the theater's for everybody.
Mhm.
You know,
It's like the library.
for the people who are
It's for-
complaining, there's movies for you too. You
Yeah.
know, like
Mhm.
so you don't have to like everything that you know. So
Also,
and
have you seen it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you hate it, like, I want
oh,
to see it.
sorry, yes,
You
yeah,
know, like, if you haven't seen it and you hate it, I find that fascinating.
yeah.
Like, I went to go see Avenue Q, which is a Broadway play that came here to Sioux Falls, and it's basically kind of like Muppets or puppets. So it's kind of in the theme of Sesame Street,
I know where you're going with
but
this.
very grown up, very grown up. And on the tickets, it tells you that this is an 18 plus
Yeah.
show. People were upset and walked out in the second, I think it was the second song started. And they were just like, what is this? This is so, and we're just like, well, it's exactly what they said it was.
Yeah.
You know, and also if you leave now, you're not going to understand if it was good or not. You have to make that decision when the credits roll, man. Like,
Mhm.
if you're making It's a Wonderful Life, if you stop that halfway through, it's an awful movie. It's awful. It's terrible. The last 5 minutes wraps it all up nice. So, I don't know. I find it funny when people put that kind of judgment in there because there's plenty of movies I don't like.
Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing too, is like I work here and there's movies all the time that play and I'm like, I don't really whatever.
Mhm.
But it's not my job,
Yeah.
especially me,
Yeah.
to say something to a customer who's coming in to see that movie. So
Mhm.
yeah, people are gonna complain, but that's fine. It's few and far between. Most of our patrons are incredible people. So
Yeah, and to kind of pivot into, again, movie magic.
yeah.
So being a father,
Yeah.
have you brought all of the kids to see movies?
I brought both of my girls. My son's too young yet.
I figured,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I try to bring them as much. I mean, maybe not as much as I can because they've only been to a handful of movies here, but because I mainly work the movies that they're able to come, and they're
Mhm.
not old enough yet to where I can just go leave them.
Right.
So I'm hoping in the next couple of years I can do something like that, where I'll work,
Like you're working.
I'll pay for their ticket and then I'll leave them in there, but not
Won't that be so cool?
yeah.
Like, I mean, I think that'll be like a really cool memory
Yeah.
for them. And they'll be like, well, yeah, my dad used to work at this theater on the weekends.
Yeah.
We just get to go see any movie we wanted.
Well, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it'll be a really cool
yeah.
thing for them.
No, my kids know that movies are special to me.
Mhm.
I mean, it's funny. For the longest time, I would like if I left the house to go grab gas for my car.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Are you going to the movie theater? Are you going to the movie theater?" And I'm like, "No."
Yes.
And then like, "Oh, okay, okay." And then like, I dress for work, and they'd be like, "Are you going to the movie theater?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I am." Like, "Oh, what are you what are you gonna watch?" I'm like,
Aw.
"Well, I'm not watching. I'm working." Like, "Oh, okay." And then I'd
Great.
come back, and then they'd be like, "Were you at the movie theater?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So that stuff's pretty special to me.
That's
It's
really
pretty cool,
sweet.
and I hope I have 3 kids. I hope one of them is a cinephile. So that's my goal. So,
Yeah. I'm so thankful that we got to have this
yeah.
conversation. And I know that you do some podcasts. So you're
Yeah, I'm taking a little break from that because life is crazy right
It
now.
is.
But yeah,
But there's plenty of places to hear you talk about movies. So we have on Fat Dude Digs Flicks, you guys have from from the balcony?
it's just called The Balcony.
The balcony.
It's just called The Balcony. Yeah.
Okay, so the balcony, and then you guys have the
Criterion Break? Oh,
Yes.
gosh, Andy and Derek are gonna kill me for not knowing. I think it's the Criterion Break.
Yes.
But yeah, we talk about art house movies and Criterion movies, which are for movie people. It's a pretty special. meant that you're in this collection of like esteemed movies. And yeah, the balcony is more about just general like we watched like The Rock or Armageddon or something, and we reflect on stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm taking a break a little bit, but you can if people want to,
I was say there's hours of this.
they can go back and listen to some stuff. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and
Yeah,
it's really fun. I mean, for me, because it's kind of like ambient noise.
sure.
Like, I just
Appreciate that. Yeah.
but it's just I enjoy listening to you guys talk about movies.
Oh, okay.
You
Nice.
know,
Thank
like,
you.
I enjoy the conversation.
Yeah.
I enjoy what is that? Like, where it's just like, I don't need to be a part of it, but I wanna be in the room, you know? And so it's a way for me to
Yeah.
kind of be in that
Yeah.
room,
Yeah.
and yet, like
I think a lot of it for me is like I didn't like for the longest time I didn't have people I could talk movies with.
yeah,
And this is just sort of like and we kind of justify it by like, well, we were gonna talk about movies anyways.
yeah,
We might as well just record it and
might as well.
see if maybe we find people in the Sioux Falls community who are gonna listen to it and then get excited. Which is ironic because the last late night, which was Friday the 13th party, Jason Takes Manhattan, I was sitting with Andy and this guy walks up and was like, "Are you Andy Heller from Pet Nugent Flicks?"
Yes,
He's like, "I am." He goes, "I'm such a big fan." And the guy stopped short of like getting on his knees and like bowing.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it was great. And he even said like, "Keep doing what you're doing. It's important we have people
Mhm.
getting others excited about movies." And it was really cool to watch someone just be like, "I really appreciate what you're doing." And
I
it was
love
pretty
that.
cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
And it also it helps you understand that, like, when you run into people like that in your life, like, you should say it. Like, be like, "Oh my gosh, I love what you do."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's so cool. Like,
yeah,
you've really added to my
yep.
whatever. Like, I don't think we do that enough, like, just celebrating these everyday pieces of our life, which is essentially what the State Theater is. It's an everyday piece of downtown Sioux Falls that needs to be celebrated and remembered. People need to make sure this is on the top of your list, like,
Mhm.
especially summertime is a fantastic time. This place is cold and dark and beautiful. Come and see a movie and then walk around
Yeah,
downtown, like, do your
yeah.
thing. Any final thoughts on the State Fair that you wanna
No,
share?
I just love it. I love
Yeah.
being here. I work here, but I don't consider it work.
Mm.
It is just I'm just so unbelievably lucky that Steven allows me to be employed here and, you know, they trust me and I just I never imagined having this in my life to this extent even, 6 years ago when the theater wasn't quite open yet, and I'm so blessed. Yeah.
And I think the State Fair is blessed to have you, and it's so exciting again to see somebody that's invested
Mm.
and
I mean, I for me, like, working here was putting my money where my mouth was,
yeah,
like, it was like, if I care enough of this place, I should want to, like, be a good ambassador for it, and
yeah.
I do my best to do that, in online spaces and in person,
Mhm.
I try to recognize customers I see a lot where I'm like, "Weren't you here last week?" And
Yeah,
I try to do stuff like that,
yeah,
I do this thing where, like, I'll look at the tickets to see if I recognize
the names.
names and like, alright,
Mhm.
like, try and put names to faces, and I try to, like, just make them feel a little bit more welcomed here and feel a part of the family. Because the nice thing about the State Theater family is that it can never hit a cup can never, like,
Yeah.
fill.
Yeah, there are infinite branches on that
Yeah.
family tree.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
when I
better way of putting it.
when I started talking to Steven, I was just like, I had sent him interview questions beforehand, and I was just like, "Do you feel ready?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, because usually I'm talking about the history of the theater, and we're just kind of talking about the theater." I'm like, "We're talking about the history. It's just we're making it." Like, he is a part of what will be the
Yeah.
history. Like,
Yeah.
and so are you. I think that's really special to have people again that are really connected, invested, and like rooting for the State Theater to be
Yeah.
part of that
Yeah.
history.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of made, like, this, like, promise to myself, maybe not promise, but, like, something that I'm striving for was, like, I want my free time after my family and
Yes,
my job, like, it's just committed to the theater.
I love that.
That's it. I just
Yeah.
want this place to be the best it can, and, somebody asked me the other day, "Are you still working the theater?" And I'm just like, "I don't plan on quitting ever." Like, even if I work an hour and a half a week,
I was gonna say,
I do not plan on ever quitting. But, yeah, just love this place.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's so special. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
thank you.
for
I'm honored to be on your
yeah,
show, so
this was so great.
Hi, my name is Nancy Jorgensen, and I am assistant manager at the Sioux Falls State Theater. I have been here for actually in about a week, it'll be 5 years. since I started. I worked at the Dells Theater for about 22 years as head manager there. So my love for just being around crowds and the movies and seeing so many families come in is one of my favorite things that happens here at the state too.
It's so special, and you make it special too.
I like when staff come in and kind of feel them out, what their moods are like for the day. And I try to get everybody uplifted for the crowds that are coming in. And it is so fun, especially during the holiday season, to see so many families come in. They're wearing the same outfits or hats or big groups. We've had groups up to 15 to 20 come in for our Christmas movies. And it is so exciting to see that.
We're joined by Andy Heller from the podcast That Dude Digs Flicks.
So before the state reopened, a group of us kind of found each other. A group of friends kind of found each other just based on our love for movies. And it was just kind of, we'd get together and talk about movies, but we didn't have a place, like a central hub where we could all kind of get to experience movies together. And then the state reopened. And sure, it reopened just after we all had gone through this terrible pandemic. And some of us were still a little nervous to go out in public.
Yeah.
But once I did, and once I started walking through the doors, it was so nice for me to kind of have that place that cared about every facet of putting the movie out there. It was, but it's more than just a physical place. The state has become just this entity of goodness for me. It's almost a safe space where it's just, I know that when I walk through the doors, pretty much anything else I've been dealing with that day, that week, for the amount of time that I'm in that building, it can go away because I get to see people I care about. I get to sometimes meet new people. I get to meet people who somehow will recognize me or be friends with my friends, and I'll get to meet them. And it's just kind of oh, it's so great that you're here. I'm so glad you came up and said hello. So it's just that. But then, my favorite art form, as much as I love books and as much as I love video games, my new addictions, my OG, and as much as I love theater,
Right.
I'm still a theater guy, even though haven't been in any plays for a few years. My biggest love has always been my love for movies. And just to be able to see them presented with such love and care makes my heart happy. And so it's awesome to me that, this building that was here, this building and idea that was here before I arrived in South Dakota, that so many people were so fond of at the time that it was around and in existence, has come back and has developed that same kind of adoration, and people that are cheering for it, people that are celebrating their experiences. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I couldn't be more grateful for it. It has, they took a chance on me for multiple occasions. And it has been really nice just to kind of have opportunities that I never would have otherwise. I never would have gotten to meet Greg Sestero and talk to him multiple times about my favorite bad movie of all time. I never would have gotten to have a chance with Thomas Ian Nicholas from Rookie of the Year, a movie that I watched every day for the summer that it came out on HBO.
Same.
Never would have been able to meet Joe Bob Briggs, who, man, just like an idol of mine, of someone who just appreciates, who helped me appreciate some of the movies that I love now. It's a remarkable thing to have in this city. And I am so glad that it's here. And I am so glad that there are people that already love it, that get to enjoy it every week. But I'm also so glad that there are people that still get to discover it. When people step foot in there for their first time, sometimes I live a little bit vicariously.